Alright, so I'm going to do another one of these tutorials to show you how to make the sneaker that Cason Wallace was wearing in Game 1, which was a Nike Air Zoom GT Cut 3. So I'm just going to start from scratch. Alright, so this base is kind of a really light coral. So I like, a lot of times when I do this, I like to come down to these common colors and start from here and just tweak it a little bit. So it's quite a bit lighter than that. Maybe a little bit more orange. That looks decent. Okay, so these little threads up in the front are basically the same. I'll just put that in there. Maybe lighten that up a little bit. That looks good. The outsole is a real pretty bright teal. So we'll go to the. Okay, there's a lot more green in it than that. That's pretty close. Do that. Change it to rubber. This little accent is the back part of the outsole, which is it's almost white. So yeah, we're just gonna do white. Oh, I forgot the outsole. Yeah, I forgot the outsole accent is actually the midsole. So this is tough because there's a gradient on the actual shoe that is you can't do in 2K. So I'm gonna make this white. It's actually a little bit of an off-white, so I'm gonna change that just a hair. Bring this over, a little bit of yellow in it, and okay. Like I said, that basically fades from a teal back to a white at the heel on the real shoe. I don't like how dark that is. I'm gonna lighten that up a little bit more. Okay, I like that better. I think this. Nope. I thought that was the actual outsole, but no, still midsole. So this is actually kind of a cream color on the shoe, but because you got that gradient that you can't do, I kind of like to switch it up and put the teal on this part. So you can do whatever you want. It's actually really it would look more like that, but I'm going to put it like this, so you still got some of that teal coming through on the midsole. Now, did we finally get to, there we go. Yeah, so this part down here is basically that sail color that is on the midsole. I'm going to change that to rubber as well. Okay, so the logo on the outsole is teal, but it's quite a bit more green. I like that. That looks perfect. Okay, the logo here, I think, is the on the midsole. I think it's basically the same color we just used. It shows up a lot better on the actual midsole because it's that the piece behind it's actually kind of a white, but that's all right. So when they say midsole here, they really mean this little shiny piece at the front, which is basically the same color, bright teal that we've been using. I'm going to darken that up just a hair. That looks better. Okay. The shank, I think, is this piece down here, which is definitely kind of a soft white color. I'm going to change that because it's not near that shiny. I'm just going to do a dull plastic. Okay, the tongue is also this kind of cream color. I want more yellow in it. Yeah, kind of like that better. Swoosh on the tongue is pretty light green. The one behind it is basically white. The strap should be the same color as the tongue. Strap down at the bottom, also the same. Okay, the logo, let's zoom in a little bit for this. It's basically that bright green that we've been using. This is basically the same color as the tongue. Another bright green down for the little bitty swoosh. Alright, the lining is the same color. Okay, the eyelet. Let's look at this. I'm going to change the material of that. It's way too shiny. Let's make that a dull plastic, and I don't know. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Alright. We're getting close to wrapping this one up. Alright, the lining comes all the way down on this. Down under the tongue. Oh, I'm sorry. I forget there's 3 different lining layers. So yeah, the first one is, I think, just this kind of that salmon color. Yeah. The lining accent, forget which one. All right, this is the one that goes down to the tongue. So I think we need to change the texture of that a little bit. It almost looks like a suede. What color is that? We'll do it that color, and okay, that looks good. Now the actual lining, the inside, it's a fabric, but we'll just leave the default because I think that's pretty much what it is anyway. It's pretty light. All right, the swoosh. This is the problem with this shoe is the scanned version that they have on here is this one with all the little dots on it, and you can't get a full swoosh, but that's all right. I can never remember whether I want to use which one of these, which layer I like to use. I think we're going to go back and make the main one kind of lighter, and then the accent is really a kind of a gray, well, really a silver. So let's change it to change the material. I'm just gonna leave that color. It's so light you can't really add a whole lot of color to it. I might bring it down just a little bit, but that's about as good as you could do, I think, on the swoosh. I don't. And the only thing is if maybe you switch those, do that as shiny plastic. Okay, and then let's try this one as the metal. Hey, I actually like that better. It makes the swoosh awful dark, though. You know what? We're just going to make them both shiny plastic, and we'll darken up one of them a little bit. Okay, I like that better. Even though it's kind of a metallic, I think that looks a little better. Okay, so the very back piece is kind of a, it's hard to tell if that's more pink. It's not quite that dark though. I like that. It's always kind of just guesswork to figure out what colors you want to use for some of these. Oh, there's nothing really I've got so far that I like. Do this and we're gonna light. Put a little more red into it. That's good enough. Alright, the heel logo is back to this bright green. And that is it. So, this is about as close as we can get to the shoe that Cason Wallace is wearing. I think it's, Nike calls it a, what is it? A washed coral dusty cactus. So, yeah, there you go.